All right, so what's up, guys? Welcome to the MorGrind Podcast show. We're just going to be having different guests on, hopefully weekly, and I'll let our first guest introduce himself.
What's up, guys? I'm Jesse Gaytan. I'm one of the assistant coaches now, former wrestler here, so I'm an alum. Happy to be here, for sure.
Nice, man. How have you been, dude? I feel like I don't see you as often, you're busy coaching and stuff now.
I mean, definitely been a change, I think my life has gotten to where I've switched my mentality. I feel like in college, just because you're wrestling so much and you got so much going on, you always want to find a break from activity. But, they say like once you wrestle, everything else is easy. And I think that's very true just because I have personally experienced that. Now I try to find more ways to be productive, and I keep myself busy I have a job still at Trader Joe's, work there, and it's pretty good to me, and I do my best to show up there. I work on campus as an operations coordinator, just here and there when I have free time, and then when I have more free time is obviously with you guys, coaching. So a lot of pockets of places that I do work, but I enjoy it. I feel like the more that I've been out of school, the more I've been able to take my time and utilize it to things that give me happiness, and it's hard to do that. I feel like just because the transition's crazy.
Yeah, definitely a big transition. I mean, blessed that you got that job. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
Talking about that, how you were saying how like wrestling shapes you, just how it is. Like, I remember seeing you. I was going to class and I seen you just throwing away boxes, and I was like, dang, they got you doing the easy stuff, but you're just saying that nobody wants to do it, and we're not. I think we were talking about how we always do the stuff nobody wants to do, and it's not that we want to do it, but it's just that we're trained to just do it and get it done.
No, yeah, 100%. And I think taking a step back, and obviously as a wrestler, your game plan is how can I become a better wrestler? But as a coach, you have to figure out how to make people believe that they can be better than they already think.
Yeah.
A lot of times what I notice is that coaches fail to see that there's a cap that the wrestler has set on themselves. And when you dig them out of that and make them push forward, it's just because in wrestling, it's a battle of wills.
Yeah.
And so in order to train the wrestler beyond just technique, we always harp on willpower and just pushing beyond those limits. And I feel like in doing that, you create a person that sees obstacles as not problems and stuff that's in the way of you moving on, but it's just a challenge. I want to get over this obstacle. I need to do X, Y, and Z to do that. Now it's just a challenge. And when you look at life like that, it helps you get through it a lot more because you don't see just that you're not somewhere. You see where you could be.
Yeah.
And you see how to get there, I feel like. And best way I could describe it is I heard the analogy of if you were in a car, right? The car just hits the water and you're about to sink. A lot of times, and I'll backtrack a little bit. A lot of times with our regular problems, we don't take actual action, right? People just complain and sort of say, I wish things were different. Or like they said, like, oh, it's just everything's so expensive. I work 40 hours, but people aren't trying to, well, maybe I should be better so that I can make more money,
Yeah.
And in that sense, it's like if you were in that drowning car, you're not going to complain about being in the car. You're not going to cry about how it's not fair that you are the person that crashed. You're going to try to get out of that car.
And try to do something.
You try to do something about your problems. And people fail to realize that every problem should be approached like that because we are characters of habit and you build habits every day, whether you know it or not. And if you don't build the habit of whatever problem is in your way, let me just deal with it and not complain, right? Let me just keep, in a more religious sense, God says to do your work for him and to not grumble about it, you know what I mean? So if you take that approach, like I've done, and I'm sure like most wrestlers do because it's a sport of action,
Right.
you see success in that. And that's where the true measure of your character comes. You can't see what you're made of if you don't test your character. And complaining and crying is not going to do that for you. Yeah. And in wrestling, you can't complain and cry because it's you. It's hard to deflect. And in life, everyone can deflect everything, right? Like people deflect all the time about, I didn't get this job because there's so many candidates and like they just don't like me, right? Or this guy or this guy. Well, whatever excuse you want to make in wrestling, you really can't.
Yeah.
It's you and that guy out there. And if he whipped your butt, that's on you. And like wrestling's the only sport that forces you to accept that, hey, right now you're not where you need to be, so let's get there. that's the only option, right? It's not like a football game. It's not like you're the backup and whether you win or lose doesn't matter because you've been sitting on bench. It's like whether you win or lose or whether you step out there or not is entirely up to you. Yeah. And that's what I love the sport of wrestling.
So, I was just talking about how, like, everything Jesse has said, and, like, honestly, when I met Jesse, I was like, dude, this guy's crazy, you know? He's always talking, like, this guy's has all these, like, things in his head. He's saying it out loud, but, dude, it's crazy because I got to give it to you, dude. Like, the way you look at life and, like, the way you have, like, seen it, you've been there, done that. And you, like, I see it as a way you want to spread awareness to us younger, because how old are you?
21, bro. Man.
You're 21. I'm 20. You know.
Yeah.
What, are you 2002?
Yeah.
He's 2002. I'm 2004, and it's just I feel like having that person there. You know, like especially coming from college, you look up to your parents or your brothers. Then coming to college, you find those right friends, especially like you, even like the coaches, all the older heads on the team, all like Seth, Max, all of them. They all give you like higher, like I want to say like how to look at life, and it's like they're making sure I don't make the same mistakes they made, you know what I'm saying? And like I feel like you want to give I don't know if you want to or like if you feel comfortable, you give people a background, like because you're a changed man, dude. Like you're a big changed man. Like you came from Lemoore, bro. It's not the best, and I don't know if you want to share with them and how you've overcome like certain obstacles and how you're here now at Menlo College, you know, like as a coach.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all. So, like, Lemoore obviously is a small town, right? And I think what Isaiah touches on a lot is that just a rough area, you know? So a lot of maturity happened fast, you know? My parents were young. They didn't really know how to do the parenting, which is fine, you know? We learned together, right? Obviously with, like, and just in regards to, like, them being around the same age as me, it was hard for them to, like, give me advice on, like, how life is. Just because we're growing up together, you know?
Yeah.
And so we learned things together, and I was able to grow as a person. I feel like a lot of what I've understood is that just the things you want for yourself, you have to understand that you're the only person that wants it that bad. You have to understand that. A lot of times people try to put expectations on others on what they should do for them because they think that relationship also means that you want what I want just as bad. Like, I love you, bro. You're my brother. And, like, I want you to be a night champ, but what, I want it more than you?
Yeah.
If I wanted something more than you, then you don't want it that bad. And that's what people don't understand of. That's how you should look at all the things in your life that you are taking action to and on what you expect from people to do for you.
Yeah.
Like, especially with your ambitions for the rest of your life. Like for me, my mom and them, when I was in high school, they didn't know wrestling. They had no idea what sports were, right? I wrestled for myself because my coach told me to do it. By my sophomore year, it took 1 year of me working out every single day. And I worked out with this guy. I think he's the reason why I actually changed my mentality. His name was Sam Callahan. If he ever watches this, what's up, man? What's up, Sam?
Sam.
But he's cool, bro. He taught me the idea that, like, you earn everything every minute. You don't deserve something, you know? Yeah. Just because you were good or just because you did something or you're nice or you don't deserve anything. Like, you earn it every second of your life. And so I worked out with him. He told me, like, my freshman year, I got my butt kicked. And he told me, if you work out with me every day of the summer, I will get you better. I will help you, you know, I'll make you grow. And, like, we'll get you to state. Because California, you know, that's tough.
It's hard. It's
3 qualifiers just to get to the state tournament, and then you don't play. You know,
well, your essential section.
Central section 2, and that's one of the toughest sections. All 10 people go. So like every section in California.
I don't know. I think Southern California is. I don't know.
I mean,
everybody has different opinions.
When I was in high school, I will say I know now that it has changed up a little bit.
SoCal's on top. So shout out SoCal.
I don't know. All I'll say is the Valley still takes 10. The Valley always takes 10. You know, it's tough, but.
No, it is tough. No, it is tough. I've seen it. You know, I've definitely seen it.
Shit stuff out there. But yeah, he helped me, bro. He helped me big time. Because every day in the summer we worked out. And every workout he's 180 also, by the way. He's big and I'm small.
Yeah.
And so I was never able to do anything to him. So like it was just him beating me up for 2 hours. But somehow over time I just stopped wanting to get beat up. I don't know how that makes sense. Like I would, for that first, just give in. You know, like I can't beat him. I can't do anything about this, right? Poor me, right? And every time he'd whip my ass, he would just tell me, hey, like, get up, like, you're not done, get up. And then he would do it to me again, and then just again, until I started noticing that, because obviously the practice would end, you know? I would finally get something, but I wouldn't think about, like, how I would get it. I would just think, oh, he's so tired. That's how I got this takedown.
Yeah.
But I didn't realize until like halfway through the summer when I didn't give up the position, when I kept fighting, when I kept being stingy, when I gave him the oomph back, because he would club me, bro. He gave me cauliflower. Like this right one, I happened in wrestling, but my left cauliflower was from him. He slammed me on the mat.
Manually cauliflower.
Yeah, and he gave it to me. And then after he gave it to me, he'd dig in double boots and grab my ear and do this. Like, he would rough me up. And, like, eventually I just give it right back to him. I headbutt him back. I gave him cauliflower back. Like, he just made me tougher, bro. And, like, just in making me tougher, it made me tough enough just to get to that state tournament. And being with him over that whole summer, I finally realized that, like I said, like, if you want it bad enough, like, you can make it happen. Because over the course of 1 year of wrestling, I made it to state tournament in Cali. And a lot of people, they build up their life wrestling, and they wrestle in high school, and then a lot of them don't get there until junior year. I got there 3 times in a row. I mean, I didn't place at the Cali tournament, but I ended up doing a lot of things in the off season. I was a high school All-American for the Reno Worlds, and then placing in Greco here. And
yeah, I mean, now you're a what?
Now I'm a coach. And I think it's because ever since then, like, when things got in my way, it didn't go my way, I would just pivot. And that's what I had to do that whole summer. I would have to pivot every summer, every day, because every day was a different workout, a different torture, but no matter what, I was getting my shit kicked in. So I had to pivot every time.
It's honestly, okay, so just hearing that right now, I feel like that, you literally gave me a different example, but the same analogy on the car drowning.
Yeah, bro.
You're going to do something about it.
You're going to
do something about it.
Yeah.
And then I was going back to what I was saying. You always have that person you look up to. I'm pretty sure you looked up to, what's his name, Sam?
Yeah.
Pretty sure you looked up to Sam, like, for a minute, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro.
And I want to move on to something else, too, is it's so crazy because I've recently talked about it 2 times. I talked about it with Jovan Garcia. If you guys don't know him, national champion from Menlo College. One of our close friends, brothers, actually.
Yeah.
I'll start back what I was saying. So, yeah, Jovan Garcia. Yeah, so I was talking to him, and I was like, dude, it's a mental thing that I need help on. Like, he's like, well, what is it? I'm like, I just feel like every single day I put in my best, and you've seen us at conditioning. We dine out there, all of us, and every single day, every single Tuesday, Thursday, I'd be dead. But I always felt like I was missing something, and like, what am I doing wrong that I feel like I'm not putting my all into it? And I know dang right I'm putting my all into it. Like, I definitely am. And I was just talking to one of the younger heads, Carson, little tough boy. I think he's from Vacaville.
Carson's like a fucking horse, bro.
Yeah, dude, well, I was talking to him, he was telling me too, like, I feel like I'm not working hard enough, and I'm like, you are, dude, but honestly, I feel like what Jovan Garcia said to me, he was telling me, he's like, it's good that you have that, because that's just that champion mentality. That's just the mentality you're going to have, and I want to lead into that. Like, do you struggle with that, or, like, do you find that?
I know, I agree with what you're saying. I actually did have a similar problem, and that's why we talk about, I feel like the mental maturity I've had over just, like, having to deal with, like, a tough senior season. This is going to pivot a little bit, but it'll make sense, you know. My senior year, I just cut too much weight. You know, I committed to a weight that, you know, I might have won a wrestle off for and, like, made weight twice, but over time I just couldn't make the weight no more. It cost me everything. And, like, overcoming that, I finally understood that sometimes you may think you're never doing enough, but at the end of the day, when I step out there for wrestling, I've realized that working hard and being in shape and doing the right things, like, that's bare minimum. And anything beyond that for advantage is your mental, how you approach things, and how you approach the match, all that. And I've been able to just finally understand that, like, there's just the side of that. If I focus on getting better, I focus on just improving myself and setting goals and then being happy with the goals that I see myself overcoming. Because I know I'm working hard. Yeah. But when you focus on am I working hard, it's redundant. That's when you feel like you're going in a circle. Because you're like, am I working hard? Yes. Okay, well, what? Am I working hard? Yes. Then that's when you don't improve because you just do the same thing.
Yeah.
But when you start focusing on, all right, each day's its own, let me just figure out how to overcome my problems of not giving up on an issue, but just seeing it through, and let me work on my techniques, and then how's my sweep doing? How's this doing? Like, all these things I'm focused on aren't focused on winning the match or, like, just, I mean, it's geared towards that.
Yeah.
But I'm focusing on me. And that's the part that people forget to do. You have all these expectations that you have to meet. You have all these places you need to be, all these things you need to do, and you forget about yourself. You forget about yourself in there. You forget about how to talk to yourself, how to help yourself, what makes you feel better. You forget that because you're so caught doing everything that you don't even do something for yourself. You're doing it for everyone else all the time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's the crazy thing about too is what I realized about college is like I feel like in high school a lot more people are like it's a solo sport in high school, you know. But I feel like when you get to college it's definitely a team sport. There's like I feel like all of us have been through like hell and back with each other. Like everybody's taking risks for the team, you know. Coach needs somebody there, they're going that way. Somebody wants to bump up, they'll bump up. It's just so crazy.
Yeah, man.
How was the rundown? Give the people the rundown when you All-American for Greco.
So like that whole process was crazy. So I got sent down to Oak Squad, right? That was something for me that was you're redshirting, you know, so we'll send you to Oak Squad.
Yeah.
My goal when I got sent there was to make these young guys work hard, show them how to work, and just do that for me, please. You know, Coach told me, like, I want you there for that reason.
Yeah.
You work hard, you'll make them work hard. And so I just decided to enjoy the process. I love the coach, Coach Ty Liddick. He's a good coach, you know. Miss him. Wish things could have been different, you know, but it is what it is. He was cool. He helped me kind of get into Greco. He kind of helped me build it up. But then towards the end, and this is the part where I also figured out that you got to fix your own problems, right?
You want some water, bro? I heard the throat getting a little dry. Here, you want me to get a member of the MorGrind squad, Diego? You guys know him. You know, we were in the bag playing zombies.
Who's locked?
Podcast. So he's part of the podcast, but
In spirit. He's locked. But yeah, bro. What I was saying, yeah, so this is the part where excuses didn't matter, right? So being an All-American was something I wanted to do, right? I wanted to do that in collegiate, right? It didn't happen that year. It couldn't happen. I'm redshirting, right? The next best thing is to chase All-American status somewhere else. I did Greco in high school. I was a, regional finalist. I qualified to Fargo. Didn't go because obviously wrestling stuff, you get injured. I ripped my knee. But I was good in that, so I figured I could do that. Come World Team Trials time, right? We have no money, right? No, there's no budget. It's okay. No one expected to go. In fact, I'm pretty positive they didn't even believe I could place. That's why there was no money. They weren't going to sacrifice any money for me to place. You know, they were like, sorry, we don't trust it. So I had to sell an old wrestling. This is something that no one knows. What's up? You know, it don't matter.
am I hearing this for the first time too?
No, you probably do know. No, I think you know. I mean, I don't think a lot of people don't really know, but you probably know. But
Sure,
I had to sell a clock on eBay for go to U23s. I had to sell stuff. I had to make money to go.
Didn't even know that.
I had to pay my own money to go, my own check, everything.
But see, I mean, you did something about it, you know.
I did, and then
Got up. There was a problem, and there's always a solution.
And even on top of that, even when we trained, right? So now finally I sell a clock, I can go. It's May and school just ended and we're about to come back in June.
Right.
So nobody wanted to be there. So all of May I trained by myself.
Right, because I remember that because all of us left for summer training.
Yeah.
Because summer training is a month.
Yeah, so everyone
all left.
So everyone was gonna come back in June. So but U23s was June 1st. So I was just gonna leave right when you guys came back. So no one was there. And I trained with Ratbeck because he happened to be there one time he left. Then the rest of it was just me boxing gloves and just working out, running like
Right there at Nito or what?
right there at Nito. Ryson can attest to it, bro.
Shout out Nito Boxing,
Yeah,
Palo
bro.
Alto, man.
And
Helped us out a lot.
yeah, bro, and that's how I trained, right? And so I could have been down about it. At first I was like, dude, this is kind of annoying. Like, I had to sell a clock to go. They're telling me like, hey, if you don't place, this is something that I didn't tell anybody, but Coach Ty told me after the tournament, they had already said in their head, or I'd said it privately, if I didn't place, we were never gonna go again, ever.
Wow.
They were gonna try it one time. If I placed, they would just do it again, and then they would do it again. But if I didn't place, they were like, it's a bust because they've tried it in the past, it didn't work, right? And we just wouldn't do it anymore. So a lot was riding on it. I didn't even know. And I could have made excuses. I could have said, you know what, I have no partners. I could have went out there and wrestled flat, but I went there 2 days before, and I was like, well, I'm going to get 2 days. I'm going to get 2 days of focused work. And me and Coach Ty focused hard, and we worked for 2 days straight, made weight, wrestled my ass off, beat a returning world team member from a few years back to placed, got that.
What was it? I remember keeping up. I wasn't able to watch it, but I remember keeping up on like the, I think it was on Track or Flow, or, whatever it was on. But you were in the blood rounds, right?
I was down 4-0 in the Bloods.
In the blood rounds, okay.
Immediately.
I remember the blood rounds match was intense.
Immediately, off the rip. Off the rip, I come out there fired. I go for an arm spin. He throws me to my back. Boom.
4 points.
4 points instantly. In Greco, it's 8. So all he had to do was throw me like
Yeah.
one more time, and I'm wraps. So
Right.
in that moment, no, literally in that moment, my blood was going doof, doof, doof. And I just started thinking to myself, like, don't do it again. Like, I told myself in my head, like, something that happened to me a lot in high school. I was successful, but the reason why I'd be ranked 8th in the state at 120s and then ranked 15th is because I'm gonna be honest, I would choke sometimes. Sometimes I would choke. Not that I wouldn't wrestle, but like, I just didn't know how to overcome if I wasn't winning right away. Like, if I wasn't winning in the bloods, I probably would lose. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I didn't get that first bite, it's usually wraps for me.
Yeah.
And so I had a hard time overcoming that. And at that moment, I just told myself, like, I can't let this happen again. Like,
Was this one of the first times you overcame that?
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it was
dang.
in that moment. Like,
So
in that moment.
It was at the highest level, one of the highest levels, and you overcame that
Yeah,
obstacle?
it was at the World Team Trials, and I was like, dude, I can't let this happen. Like, I have to focus. And so that's what I did. I was like, let me just get the next point. And so I was like, okay, boom. I got a 4-point throw right fucking back. Now it's 4-4.
Yeah.
He gets a roll through, it's 6-4. But now we're close match. It's 6-4 the whole way through. And I just kept telling myself, next position, right? And when you don't score in Greco, it's hard to get a passivity call. You just get lucky. I happened to push him out. He got cautioned in 1, now it's 6-5. And then he backed up again, cautioned again, it's 6-6. I'm up. And then I won by criteria, bro. I'm pretty sure like 6-7, something like that.
Dang.
And that was it. But from that moment, I realized, like, dude, like, I did it. Like, I actually went out there and did it.
I think I remember texting you, though, after your blood rounds. I was like, hey, good job, but you're not done yet.
Yeah.
And you went on, you won the next match, right? Or
Didn't win the next match, but I did have bangers. Like,
yeah, it was a banger. I think it was a banger, but I remember, like, you were hyped, bro. You were hyped.
I had 2 more matches after that. I did pretty good. I won the next one and then lost the last one.
Okay, so you won the next one. Okay.
No, I ended up, actually, you know what? No. I lost it, then I ended up losing. Not gonna cap. But hey, it was 8-6, and I sprained my ankle, not gonna cap. That too, there's a lot that happens in a day. You get hurt, you get injured, but you gotta push through, you know? And yeah, man, it was a great experience. I feel like since then, I've been able to just feel more okay with where I'm at, because I know that at the end of the day, whatever happens next, I perform at the highest level, and I did something for myself.
You gave it your all.
I gave it my all. And I became an All-American in something, and no one can ever take that from me, you know? You can't ever say I wasn't. I will be forever now. It's too late.
Yeah.
It's too late now.
Put that on the bio, you
Yeah,
know?
yeah,
You're
put-
All-American, every wrestler.
It's
put
in
it
the
on
bio. Yeah, hey, look
bro.
at my Instagram. It's in that bio. It's in the bio now.
Yeah.
It's locked now, bro. And yeah, it feels good.
That's dope, man. That's dope.
Yeah, man. But what feels even better, I think, is just that Menlo is still growing. That's one thing I enjoy too. I feel like my mindset has been created because of our program. Our program is nice, and our program does good work. I feel like you talk about, Martina talks about all the time, there's a difference between a team and a program. And for us, our program is different because it sculpts people into always chasing the next thing and having solutions, not excuses for your next step.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then
Our program is growing, though. A
It is.
lot, dude.
It
Menlo
is.
is growing a lot. And I
is.
think nobody knows, but everybody's probably sleeping on it. But I think one day Menlo's going to be huge. Way bigger than we are now. We're transitioning to D2, you know, so I think what's really cool about this D2 transition period is we really get to test our skills. Like, we have to follow all these guidelines, all these rules, and I feel like a lot of people like think it's hard, but honestly, like, just gotta lock in and follow them, and I think we've been doing really good, you know.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, what people forget is that a lot of the guidelines, it's stuff you internally do and think about, but now it's let's do it in a structured way.
Yeah.
So it's like,
And we've been doing it, like, I mean, Coach always says, you know, like, and I think this is true, like, we're not a wrestling team, we're a wrestling program.
Yeah,
I
bro.
think that from going from team to program, not only sounds better, but it's facts. Like, you look at us and we do so much like, everything's different compared to other wrestling teams. And I think that's why we deserve that program name, you know?
yeah, because we have, I think, and the simple difference is that we have expectations that are set, and you either follow it or you're not on the team. Like, when you get on Menlo's program, you're not Isaiah Morales. I mean, you are, but you're Menlo wrestling Isaiah Morales. Like, you're a Menlo wrestler now. And that means you're a mental wrestler here. You're a mental wrestler in the classroom. You're a mental wrestler off campus. Yeah. And when you reflect those values, okay, in the room, I don't give up. In the room, I'm respectful. In the room, I don't talk back. In the room, I give it all my all, right? And then, so now what does that mean? In my life, I'm respectful. In my life, I work hard. In my life, I give it my all, right? And then we win with class and we lose with class. And so if I don't win a match, I walk off and accept it. If things don't go my way in life, I got to walk off and accept it and move on and go to the next match, go to the next thing in my life.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, you go to sleep, you wake up, it's next day. There is no pause anymore when you grow up, when you're an adult. I mean, we're grown now, and there's barely any pause now. But once college is done and the housing is done and then there's bills and then there's jobs, that's when people start to fatigue because they're so used to that. If I push a lot of the people who are half in and out, if I push all right now, I can rest. If I give it all for like 5 minutes now, then I can rest after. But you have to understand that, and we understand it, that hard work and dedication, you have to take that with you. And a good coach shows an athlete how to take it with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, I feel like a lot of people, what I've been like, got to recognize your hard work, you know? Like, I feel like a lot of people don't give them breaks, but a lot of people do need it. I would say a good example would be like my dad. Dude, I'm telling you, this guy, shout out Pops, dude, but this guy, he would work, I want to say for a solid, like, 4 or 5 years, bro. He was working every single day of the week, like, even on Saturday and Sundays. Yeah. Saturday and Sundays, too, now. Like, I'd be like, yo, Dad, what are you doing this weekend? Working? Like, damn, bro, like, you're going to go work again? And I'm actually proud of him now because, like, he's gotten to the point where he takes Saturdays and Sundays off to rest and realize that he's been working hard and, like, Monday start fresh back up, you know? So I feel like that's what a lot of people need to do is, like, realize you're working hard and you deserve a break sometimes and not, like, overworking yourself. But, I mean, what do you think on that? Like, do you think sometimes you overwork yourself, or, like, how do you catch that, or do you give yourself breaks? Like, what do you do to, like, recover, everything?
I think sometimes I remind myself that there's nothing wrong with being tired. It's a good thing, you know? I feel like for us, sometimes you work so hard for so long, and again, people a lot of times get fatigued or they just forget that that's a reason why they're working this hard. When you work hard for so long and you don't take a time, like you said, to reflect on why am I doing this? Or like, what am I doing here? Or like, what have I done so far? Then you forget the purpose, right? And then it becomes tiring. Then it's like, I'm tired for no reason, or I'm just tired of working hard. It's like, well, hold on. Like, you're not just working hard. You're working hard for your kids or for your family.
Your why.
Your why, yeah. People forget their why. That's why I love that we harp on our whys here. And even when we talk about gratitude, like, that's also why I step out into my world all the time and try to bring positivity and, like, say things to hardworking people that I recognize. I look out for the hardworking people now because I've seen it at my job at Trader Joe's, bro. It's a very, very classic thing that happened. Like, and I love that this happened to me. This girl was, she was in line, and out of nowhere, like, I always ask them what they're doing today. Like, hey, so what's new for you today? What you about to go do? Because that gives me, like, a little scope into what they do a lot. And, like, this girl said she was gonna go to work, and she said she does counseling for kids for high school to college, like, helps them go. And to cut it short, I ended the conversation after she told me what she does because she's like a school counselor. I was like, wow, you must really help a lot of people. A lot of people must really had, like, a difference because of you. Like, you must have made an impact. And she said, thank you. But she didn't say it right away. Like, she just paused for a little bit, and I was looking at the screen, grabbing the receipt while I was saying it. So I'm thinking it was just going to be, like, nice, you know? And she was going to go about her day. But so she didn't say anything at first. So I turned and looked at her, and I had the receipt, and she was like, thank you. And she was, like, about to cry, bro. And I gave her the receipt, and she walked away. But, like, that little thing of just saying, like, you know, I bet you help a lot of people.
You made her realize that she works hard.
Yeah.
And she probably didn't realize it till that day.
Yeah, she probably, maybe she did know that. Maybe she felt like, damn, no one even recognized me.
Yeah.
Could be that too. Yeah. But I'll never know. But yeah, like, but after that day, one thing I did know is that, like, the positive word you say to somebody actually could make a difference, especially when you don't know them. It's actually the opposite. You think, I don't know this guy, like me saying something to him isn't really going to do much, but it does. Because a lot of times it means more because I have no reason to lie to you.
Yeah.
Like if you're a stranger and you're working hard, I go, hey brother, what's your name? Isaiah. Hey, damn, Isaiah, you working hard, bro.
Yeah.
Like I'm seeing you're busting your butt, dude. You'd be like, dang, like, I must be working hard because this random person who doesn't know me recognized it, and that's like what I'm trying to do now. Like all my new coworkers, I train a lot of them because like I've been there for a while.
Yeah.
So I'll train them at Trader Joe's, and when they're done, at the end of the day, I always remind them, I'm like, hey, where do you get your work ethic from? It makes them think about their why, and also they feel good, and they kind of remind themselves why they work hard because they tell me. This guy's like, oh, my mom. My mom taught me to work real hard. And like now when he goes to work, I notice that guy works hard every day. Maybe he would have already, but now I know, dang, this guy works hard for his mom. And that makes me feel better too. Because now I'm surrounded by people that do what? Work hard.
Bringing that good energy.
Yeah, you got to bring it. Yeah, because at first when I got there, it's it. Or like, not even my job. Like when I first got there, it was nice, you know? I thought they were just nice old people or whatever. But like over time, like as the crew changes, like and it's young people too, like we got a lot of high schoolers now. They don't understand how to work yet, and they get real grumpy about working. Or like even other places like Safeway, they don't do that. You can tell they don't do that. Like the one down the street, everyone's just kind of there, you know. I mean, there's a few good homies there that we know.
Yeah.
But like to bring that culture, to recognize your coworkers, like to talk to them, to uplift them, and tell them they're working hard, and that be the difference is amazing because it comes from them. Like now, all the extra added benefit from them being there is internal. They just work harder all of a sudden.
Yeah.
They just work better.
Little intermission break, but we're back now. You have your mic on, but
Yep.
but yeah, continue what we're talking about. You were talking about how like being like nice to people, bro, like goes a long way. Or just making small talk with like strangers at your job. Now, yeah, dude. Like an example is like everywhere I go, I bring the high energy into the place. You know what I'm saying? Even though they have like a mad face on, you want to call it, or like a not so like
They don't look happy, yeah.
satisfied face on.
Uh-huh.
But like an example is like yesterday I went to go get like my ear drained because I've been having ear issues.
Yep.
And I went in and I was like, hey guys, like how's it going? Like about the high energy, and they're like just talking for a little bit. They're like, you're so nice. Thank you for asking. Like nobody ever asked about our day.
Yeah, bro. Sweet, like.
And dude, I ended up going to the back, and they're saying, oh, we can't do your ear because you have an ear infection, so we're not allowed to. I walked out to the front. They got me set up for another appointment. Dude, they could have easily charged me like a cool $50-$60 for an office visit. But
Just to visit,
she
huh?
told the lady, she's like, so should we charge him for an office visit? Or she's like, you know what? Nah, he's fine. And I don't know if it's because of the reason why I came in with high energy, but that's what I believe that it was. But dude, just like everywhere, dude, you come in and you bring the high energy, you say like, hi, how you doing? Make small talk, and they remember you too. Like you were saying, like at Safeway, we have a couple of homies over there.
Yeah.
Every single time we go to Safeway and like
That one bald black guy. I forgot his
dude,
name.
yes, bro. Like that. If it's like past 10, we're going to Safeway.
He's there.
He's there. We're running into him, and we see him.
He's in the frozen aisle every time.
Every single time. And we met him on a random day.
And he just had good energy, bro.
We're like,
too.
what's up, man? How you doing? Like, you've been working here for a minute? Yeah, I work like graveyards every single day. Like, dude. And like, it was actually crazy because he actually said he came to Menlo.
Bro?
Yeah, he used to go to Menlo, and he was like, yeah, I know Menlo. I used to go there. He said, I used to go there way back.
Way back when.
But
That wasn't
yeah.
way back when. Yeah, bro.
yeah.
Hey, but man, also too, on the opposite side of that, on the flip side of it, not letting people who are negative invade your thought process or like the way you do things is also something that I think is very important. And I think you learn it in wrestling, you know, like wrestling is the most controlled violence that you have. Like you cannot lose your cool in wrestling. You can't. You had a great match like that where you and the Vanguard kid, like he wanted to do everything to like make you try to bug out, and you just wouldn't bug out.
He was throwing hands.
He was throwing hands, and like that control, not allowing that negativity to affect the way you go about things is important, especially with jobs. And like my job every day, like I'm nice to everybody, but not everyone is actually nice back, believe it or not. Like there are some people who, I don't know if their money makes them blind, but like they don't hear me. Like they I ask them how their day is, they don't respond. And like I genuinely try to make them talk to me. I bag for them just so they have nothing else to do but like listen to me, and they don't. And like that doesn't bother me, but like it's just my job just to be friendly, you know? That's just part of like what we do at Trader Joe's.
That too. I feel like nowadays, I feel like a lot of people don't have a smile on their faces, dude. And it's just like, what do you, like, I get it. Everybody has their own issues. But I think just waking up and going outside when you step out that door, wherever you're going, to school, to work, to the office, whatever, and you just walk out with a smile, I genuinely think your day will be better.
Yeah, and it will.
I think people will recognize that you're smiling and that you're happy and start conversations with you, this, and that. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I just think just putting that smile on your face every single day, waking up, you have another day, another opportunity, and just go about your day. You know what I'm saying?
No, I do, bro, 100%, because it's easy to be negative. That's why. You know, it's easy to be negative. It's hard to be positive. I'd say that because if you ask someone to point out 10 problems, they'll do it in a heartbeat. But every time we do gratitude and you call someone random, everyone stands up, they're like, they got to think about it. But in my head, it's like, you shouldn't have to think that hard about what you're grateful for. And if you have to think that hard about what you're grateful for, then you need to keep thinking about it, because that should be on your mind every day. You should wake up grateful already. I woke up. That may sound redundant, and like I know everyone says that, but if you genuinely think about it, that means there's more for you to do.
Yeah.
You're up. You're alive. You're not done. You just lost a match. You're wrestling in college. You aren't the starter. You're part of a program, or you didn't become a national champ. You were an All-American. Like, you're not the head coach. You're an assistant. You're a coach. You're doing this. You're doing that. Like, there's so much more. The best way I can put it is that if I see a cup and someone could say it's half empty and it's half full, that means one of two things. Either we're looking at two different cups, or it's the same cup and we're looking at it two different ways. Right? Obviously, no duh, but that's the thing. If it's that simple, how come people don't do it? You know what I mean? Like, if I tell someone that cup analogy, they're like, well, yeah, obviously. It's like, is it obvious, though?
They looked at the negative part of it.
Yeah, because people look at negative all the time. They always look to be negative anyways. Like, people look for the problems, because when you look for the problems, all you see are the problems.
Right.
You know what I mean? If you don't, like, same thing with wrestling. If you just focus on winning, all you ever see is a match.
Yeah.
And that next match is everything, and it kills you. But if you just focus on getting better, you're never worried about a match. You're worried about getting better.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, hey, thank you, Jesse. I really appreciate you, man. I appreciate like you coming on. First guest, first appearance, and maybe we'll run it back for round 2, you know? Maybe. Anything you got to say? You want to say anything?
Yeah, man. Shower, brush your teeth every day. Take care of what you got to take care of. And every time you go out there in your day, just do the work, okay? Don't complain. Don't grumble. Don't get mad that you're... Be the one that does the work, okay? Don't get mad that, oh, so-and-so. Who cares about so-and-so? You be the person that does the work, okay? Every day you wake up, remember, you're on limited time, so you need to do less talk and more grind. Thank you. We're out. We're out, chat.